a quick Elden Ring build video. I think this could be one of the most, I don't know if you'd say busted, overpowered, or just really good weapon arts in the game. And what these are is the Claws of Night. And I'll go over how to get them in a minute. I'm not going to go in depth because there's a million guides on everything out there, it seems like. But what makes them really good is the weapon art on them, which is the scatter shot throw. And what it is this, and this is base game. I'm not getting any of the extra buff. This is just base, and this is playthrough 5. And let me just go ahead and show. These are my stats at the moment. I said, but to me, what makes these great is having just a ranged option. And they've got bleed on them, and you can actually just take out whole groups and never have to engage at all. But I found a couple of pretty neat mechanics about these weapons, and I believe they'll probably become really big in PvP if people haven't already noticed, because they've got a neat mechanic on them that I've only seen on 2 weapons on the game so far. And let me go to it. And what that is it says that they're semi-corporeal and cannot be fully guarded against. So even enemies with shields, you're getting a lot more penetration. It's about 50%, it seems like. 50% of real damage, even through shields. And it has bleed on it, so you're proccing bleed buildup even through shields. So, and that makes them really great. And another interesting mechanic that I found is, everybody probably knows at this point that Blasphemous Blade gives you, I think it's 10% of your life back for every kill. Alright, well usually you have to keep it, which puts you down to just single wielding, but since this is a single weapon and you can dual wield it, you still get the perk from the Blasphemous Blade, and you get to dual wield. And also the regular strikes penetrate guard too. So just stand back, and take everything out and enjoy the healing, and never really have to engage. And if you do have to engage, they have a really good move set. Also, the heavy attack throws, and it costs nothing except for stamina. The heavy jumping attack throws, but the range is a lot less than the weapon art. Alright, but we'll show this other area. And I'll show you the shield penetration, because it's pretty crazy how well it procs bleed buildups even through shields on guarding enemies. Another neat mechanic I found on it is these weapons do not deflect. Usually on dex weapons, that's a problem you have on a guarding enemy. If they shield up, you always deflect and do no damage. These, however, go right through. They never deflect, which would be completely busted in PvP, because anyone guarding, they're not going to deflect at all. See if I can get this dude to call in everybody. Get them grouped up. Alright, all y'all get gathered up. I'm going to take a hit or 2 here. And now, let the fun begin. And as you can see, we're already back to full health. Back to full health, even after taking the beating from an entire group. Even with all of them having shields, which is my opinion, if you're running a dex build, I usually run strengths build with guys for shields just because they're so annoying. You tend to deflect off of their shields so easily. But not with this one. You will just shred right through any guard and proc bleed on almost any enemy. Alright, we'll travel to one more location here and then I'll go over. And alright, this is the DLC. And I'm not gonna try not to get into any spoilers or nothing. We're going to go right here. And I'm sure if you've played the DLC any, you've probably encountered these enemies, and they are super annoying because they will guard point almost everything you do. And then they have the mechanic on their hammer where they do the holy return. I'll just stand here and snipe him a few times. I'm gonna take a hit or two, and now we're just gonna head and take him out. And as you can see, even with him guarding, we still just take him out with ease. And even after taking a couple hits, we'll go up through here and take these guys out. And we'll be back at full health in just a minute. And it does really good damage. You can see. The range on it is really ridiculous too. Even with them shielding up, got no issues. And we're almost back full health. Love this build. I wish I would have found it earlier in the playthrough because it would have made the playthrough so much easier. Only thing is you tend to go through a bit of FP, but like I said, even against shielding enemies, you never deflect. I guess you do on walls, but on shield enemies, you just penetrate. No deflect, 50% penetration even on a guarding enemy. And just to show, I'm level 18 of the scatter tree blessing here, so I'm getting nearly double scaling. They're scaling at 1413 right now. I'm gonna show this guy without using the range. He'll be a little bit more annoying, but see how we just penetrate right on through, even when he's shielded up. We don't deflect at all. That is a very cool mechanic. I mean, even if we take out our Blasphemous Blade here, I'll show in comparison. I'm sure everyone knows, but to me it's just amazing because the shield guys were always super annoying before, just because you would, when they guard up, you just deflect and you got nothing. See if we can get him to guard. Well, he didn't guard. But yeah, you get the gist. I'll go over where to get the items. I'm not going to go into any detail on the guide because honestly the blades aren't all that simple. You'll need to come here, do this guy's quest line, and I would say probably halfway through, maybe 3/4 of the way through, you'll be invaded by the knight that has these claws. Defeat them. It's before the hidden boss fight that you do, and you'll get the claws. And as far as another good perk, the smithing talisman enhanced weapons throwing attack. It also counts for this weapon art, which most of them don't. So that one, and of course Chart of Alexander for extra. And I run the blood because you bleed so often on it, and then the last one can just be whatever you want. But like I said, if you run the Blasphemous Blade in your offhand and have it on your back, you're getting that passive health regen all the time, and you could even complement it more with something like this. It restores HP upon defeating enemies, because to me the levels are almost harder than the boss fights in this game, because you're just such a long way between checkpoints. The enemies do so much damage, and there's so many of them. To constantly be health regening it and still get to use the weapon the way you want to, not to be dependent on using the Blasphemous Blade for everything just because of the health regen, is awesome, in my opinion. But also you get the, let's see, what was it? The smithing talisman. It's very early, honestly. You just come right here, and you don't even have to complete it. It's pretty early. It's like one of the first items you pick up is in this ruined forge of Starfall Pass right here. And as far as that goes, I think you do have to come through here. After you come through, you go through the High Road Cross, and then just circle around, come down here, pick up this, and then just come right here. And it's pretty straight. There's not even a boss fight in this forge. Honestly, you just go in there and find the forge, and it's the end of the dungeon. But that's it. I just thought it was a really cool mechanic. Probably one of the coolest in the game. Does ridiculous damage, has a lot of range, and just great weapon in my opinion. But anyway, that's it for the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. As always, thanks for watching.